Hey guys, I'm Joe Quesada, and you sent in your questions to FanExpo. Look, I have them here, seriously, and I'm going to answer them now. So you ready for this? Careful what you wish for. Are there plot points in a story that you wish you could have changed after publishing? No. At the end of the day, no. We publish what we publish, and some things sell, some things don't, but we never publish in fear. And I think I don't regret a single one of the things we've done, because at the end of the day, the only way you can get better is by making those mistakes. So each success, each failure is something that you add to the learning process. So no, wouldn't change a thing. What's been a dream project for you to work on, and have you been able to complete that dream? I've had a lot of dream projects I've been lucky enough to be a part of. I am working on one right now that will hopefully be completed sometime this year. So yeah, I literally every new project that I take on is a dream project for me. That's why I'm doing it. I've been fortunate enough in my career to get to a point where I can sort of pick what I want to do and call my shots. Hopefully that continues. But yeah, I've done a lot of them, and this next one is really the next one. So I hope you dig it. I can't tell you a thing about it though. So I'm being cryptic on purpose. I'm sure you get this all the time. But when are we going to get more Ash? For those of you who aren't familiar, Ash is a creator-owned project I created back in 1994. There are currently no plans to do anything with Ash at the moment, but I never say never. Thanks for the question, but sorry, don't have any plans right now. As a person who wants to become a comic book artist, what steps did you take in order to get that position? Literally, the steps I took are probably the steps that everyone has to take, right? Everybody breaks in a different way, right? You meet somebody, you show a portfolio, but the steps to get there are the same steps that you would take if you wanted to be a success at anything. You just got to work your butt off. So, I used to love playing baseball. I wanted to be a professional baseball player. Unfortunately, I'm incredibly uncoordinated. But in order to get there, anyone who's become a professional baseball player or a professional athlete, they spent countless of hours on the field practicing their skills to get better and better and better. Same thing with comic book art, comic book writing, or art and writing in general. Want to be a writer? You got to write. You got to write every day. You cannot not skip a day. There's no off days like in the gym. You want to write or draw? You got to draw every single day, even if it's just a doodle. No one ever has to see it. That's the real trick to it. Put yourself in a mindset where I'm going to draw today. It's not anything anybody's going to see. It's just you're building those muscles. You're adding reps, and you're getting stronger each time and more skillful each time that you do this. So that's really the way to break in. Having talent is only a portion of it. It's having the desire and the initiative to keep going that is really the biggest part to anybody being successful in any medium. So there you go. What was the driving factor behind you spearheading the Marvel Knights movement? Well, first of all, we didn't know it was a movement. Actually, I still don't know it's a movement, unless you're talking about, no, okay, we're not talking about that. Marvel Knights, we wanted to do some books. Marvel gave us the ability to do 4 titles that we picked, and it turned out to be pretty successful, and I guess people are calling it a movement, or at least Adam, you're calling it a movement, so I'm good with that. But the impetus was really, we just wanted to tell some good stories. We wanted to make a living, and we had the opportunity. It came up, and we took it. So that was it, man. Thank you. As a writer and illustrator, what do you enjoy more? Oh, man, it's a great question. It's funny because it changes day to day. There's some days where I just love writing, and some days where I don't want to see the keyboard. I just want to draw. I do a little bit of both every day regardless, just because you got to keep sharp and you got to keep building those muscles. I guess it depends what I'm writing and what I'm drawing. So let's say I want to write a story where 100,000 aliens come over a hilltop to battle a superhero team. I'd rather be writing that. I don't want to try that, man. For the obvious reasons. So yeah, there's those moments, and then just drawing is just fun. Just sometimes, especially when you don't know what it's going to look like, what it's done, and you have what I call a green day, right? So green days are where like everything is clicking and every line is perfect, and like, man, my anatomy is snapping today. I don't have to redraw anything. When those days happen, I could draw forever. So Thank you. What are some of the accomplishments during your time as editor-in-chief and chief creative officer at Marvel that you're most proud of? So I've been asked this question. Can I say that I'm in Philadelphia today, in Philadelphia Fan Expo? I've been asked this question, I think 5 times today, for different interviews and just fans in general. And the answer is really, it's cumulative. It's the entire time that I was at Marvel, which is 22 years, where again, as chief creative officer, as editor-in-chief, I got to work with some of the most brilliant creative minds, some of those just incredible people in business and in the creative world. And in that time, I learned a lot. We did a lot of great stuff, whether it was comics, TV shows, movies, you name it. So to me, I look at it all as a whole. And hopefully, my tenure was done last year, that I left the characters in better shape than when I found them when we were in chapter 11. I think I can say that actually. I think we definitely left them in better shape than they were in chapter 11. So thank you for the question, Joseph. Do you foresee a day where DC and Marvel are one company? No. No. Well, first of all, well, maybe. I don't know. Let me put it to you this way. I never say never, but I have no empirical knowledge, right, as to whether that would ever happen. But you would have to consider that the only way that would probably happen is if either Warner Brothers bought Disney or Disney bought Warner Brothers. And I don't know. I just don't see that happening. Plus, I'm sure the government may have some antitrust things to say about that. So I think it's far-fetched to believe that would happen. But stranger things have happened, but that would be really, really strange. But thanks for the question, Alex. Oh, by the way, also, let me say, I don't think it would be good for comics for that to happen. I think it's good that the companies are separate and there's the competition. It's really, really important. To bring them all together, I think would be unhealthy. What was it like getting to direct the first episode of Slingshot? And what was it like getting to work with those incredible actors? Barrett, I didn't write this question, really. So Barrett, I thank you for bringing that up. Slingshot actually won a Webby, right? Now, when I heard that we won a Webby, I was like, the hell's a Webby? Since then, Webbies are like a thing, right? And people are like, I won a Webby. I'm like, so I won a Webby. It was awesome. It was awesome, and it came at a time where, as chief creative officer at that time, I'm working on a lot of people's projects, right? But I'm sort of the person behind the scenes. I mean, there's a lot of people behind the scenes, and I'm one of them. It came at a time where I didn't have any books out, and once again, I started to feel a little bit more like an auteur, where I had this is even though it wasn't written by me, and I'm not performing it on screen, but I storyboarded the whole thing, and I felt the level of control over a product that I hadn't had in a long time, even though it is a team effort. It's not like I have total control. And so it was really exciting. It really, really was. And when it was over, I wanted more of it. And that's why I did a short film during COVID, just to see if I could do it on my own. It's called Fly. And actually, if you go to my Substack, Joe Quesada's Drawing the Line Somewhere, you can actually see the trailer for Fly. It's hit the festival scene. It's got into a bunch of festivals, won a few awards here and there. So thank you for allowing me to make this incredibly long and shameless plug. Favorite hero, villain to draw? Hero or villain to draw? Favorite hero to draw? It has to be Daredevil or Batman. They're just really cool to draw. Favorite villain to draw? Mephisto. I really enjoyed drawing Mephisto. Yeah, I loved him just like tearing Spider-Man's heart out, and childhoods everywhere were destroyed. I'm kidding, of course, but he is fun to draw. What advice would you give to creators out there unsure of where or how to break into the industry? My advice is simple. Anyone who's broken in has broken in because they just have an undying and unbreakable will to make it. It surpasses talent. It really is just desire, and then having talent helps, but desire will put you in the place that you need to be, and you will eventually break in. And not everybody breaks in the same way. Actually, I've gotten into debates with some folks that no one breaks in the same way. Once you've gone through a certain path, that path is taken and closed and everybody takes a different path. It might just be a variance of it, but they're all very, very different. Is there a story you were wanting to see happen but was rejected? Not really. Not that I can think of. We've you know, but then again, you know, I'm not the one who's always pitching stories. So when I was editor-in-chief, I would pitch some things, and if, you know, I was never ham-fisted about anything. So if you could tell in a room as you're pitching something that it's not clicking, so I'm sure there's hundreds of things that I pitched that within the room of writers and editors didn't work, but nothing that I felt so passionate about that I'm heartbroken. You know, it was just another idea, and we move on to the next one. So, but thank you for that question, Stephen W. Out of every comic book cover ever produced, which is your favorite? To me, I mean, clearly, you know, there's a long list of amazing covers in comic books, but I think to me, it would be the cover of Spider-Man 96, because it was the first comic my dad bought me. And I remember it fondly. I still have my issue. It's torn to pieces, but it hits me in the feels. And it was a Gil Kane cover, I believe, with John Romita Sr. on it as well. So that's it. And thank you, Peter, for the question. That's the last one. So for everybody out there, join me again, once again, on my Substack. It's Joe Quesada's Drawing the Line Somewhere. It's free. Every bit of it's free. All of it, all that information and great stories, all of it's free, just for you guys. Thank you again for your support, and I love you guys, and I'll see you in the funny books. Be good.